Hello everyone, welcome to Yuan Bo Legendary, the Cinematic Campaign, Episode 9. So I just finished the victory here. It wasn't too much of a battle, I actually didn't record it. So we are going to demolish the building, are we? Yeah, we're going to demolish the building. I'm thinking ancient city of Quintex needs to be a yin location just to have a lot of money coming through, because it has that special building. So this whole province is not going to build any military, actually. Let's get magical reserves. Let's get foe seeker. Abilities are always nice to have. Less corruption is always cool. The seduce is always nice. And you're trying to bait that enemy army into attacking over here on the fallen gates while you wait for June 2. Actually, that army combined with this army can do quite a while for June 2 to have a decent army to at least be supportive. So we are having the problem, by the way, steel, how the steel works and the stone works is that you kind of have to do these actions, otherwise they turn into one another. So I'm going to turn this into a fortress city. What it does is that the buildings now have specific stuff, like ammunition to all armies, for instance here from the powder magazine, and other buildings also have enhanced effects, which is good. It's all armies, so it's perfect actually. Let me just see if... who do we want to see? Okay, Clan Ashen doesn't have a lot of strength. Okay, so I'm thinking that this army, maybe one more. Can I risk moving for March? That's the point. Can I risk it? Because the reason is that while I was checking in, I realized I cannot reach that location in one turn. So might as well, you know, try to get Village of the Moon and the other settlement in one go. Hidden stores here for the Cathay Grand Caravan. And we're going to have a rebellion here in Skeggy. I have to be careful about that. I'm already using the control here. I cannot risk getting no income, so I guess I'll just have to fight whatever comes out of there. Maybe that will be good for June 2. Yep. I cannot risk having no ink. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing. I'll just let them rebel and hopefully it's not exactly the biggest threat. So, caravan completed with 6,648 and the star metal plate, which gives a unit of organ guns and a nice enemies in range melee attack reduction, which is kind of cool. So Jun 2 needs to get some more units, but I think I need to fight that rebellious army before it gets too big. And then I'll join the forces. Overall, I'm doing great here. I can breach through Morathi, that's for sure. And I'll try to get this army going, this enemy going. Okay, it's retreating. Let me show you a small trick. I believe this still works as it used to. If I could force march into the vicinity, typically into the vicinity, if you manage to go force march past them, yeah, I think that does it, which is to force them to stay in place. Typically that works unless they land, which is the only acceptable answer to this. Otherwise they have to fight me and then retreat, which typically the AI doesn't do that. They just stay and put. So I definitely want this to be a yin province. It's much better. I'm always checking which one is yin and which one is yang. So yeah. Let me move through. I wanted to get petrified forests. That's a nice auto-resolve there. By the way, still not on the siege part, the siege beta here on this, okay? I was on the, or I will be on the battle, but that's because I'm recording the battle after, way after the siege beta came out. So let's get chain lightning. And now on to the other side. I already captured, and Ashen indeed didn't have any armies there, only 2 arriving. And they're about to be destroyed, that's for sure. They're about to lose their last settlement. I hope it's their last settlement with Celestial Monastery and Kunlan. So that should be nice. However, there's a looming threat here. Lokir is approaching and Miliri the Dire Overseer as well. So we're gonna have to send out my forces down instead of conquering, which is a bit of a problem. I kind of wanted to conquer the Celestial Monastery, but I couldn't. I had to force the march past the Celestial. Still, it seems great. We're gonna get another Lord, and that should be nice. Let's get Rangi. And definitely I need some man-eaters, ogre pistols. I have the gold for this. Let's do the cheese. Waiting for our OR units. It's not cheese. It's just that standard tactic. Oh, let's get Grand Cannons. Yeah. Let's get some Grand Cannons and add a full missile-based army to deal with Lokir would be nice. Defeating him in his own terms. In the meantime, we have a looming threat. Morathi has arrived, finally, from her conquests in the north. We didn't manage to trap that secondary lord, so we have to be careful. Still, they are attacking us, which is quite a reasonable attack because it says Pyrrhic victory, casualties medium. I completely disagree with that. I feel like I have the option to destroy Morathi without even losing a unit. So let's fight it out. One thing you can see that there's a development in progress icon there now. That's because the version I'm using to record this battle is actually in the beta. So it's many days after I've recorded the whole campaign action, because I just save the replay. I'll then record the battle when I can. So that's the reason why you see that, and that's the reason why the replay is a little bit bugged out. I certainly didn't lose any units on this one, but yeah, for the most part it works. I hope to make a concave there. I have to move in closer and try to see if I can snipe Morathi. Let's watch the battle. Morathi is choosing suicide instead, which is actually excellent for us. Some nice damage from my lord, my hero, the gatekeeper. And Yuan Bo shortly will join the fight here. Here he comes. There we go. Yuan Bo is still a powerful melee attacker, even without his dragon form, by the way. Now, biggest problem is the shielded units still suffer greatly from the enemy missiles, but that's their purpose, to draw in the missiles. I believe at this point I'm sending them down and sending the halberdiers over to this target, which is a much better target for them. But overall, everything seems to be fine. Using some abilities here, and my Jade Lion is certainly going to strike. In the middle, Yuan Bo is using his dragon form, and I'm missing a spell there. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss it, actually. Yeah, there's nothing there actually to target even. So, for sure, that was not the deal. Nice coffee. So Yuan Bo at one point can manage to go through, and the characters can go through. Characters can actually just attack missile units, especially just cast a spell or another in them, and that should be fine. Yuan Bo just having fun eating some dark elves. He was hungry. Imagine being chased by this huge dragon. Come on. There we go. Missile mirror. Now I'm not gonna mistake that for magic mirror. What was I thinking? And you can see how actually effective it is. This is a very hard difficulty battle, actually. It's a legendary, very hard difficulty battle with all stats increased. So yeah, the AI does fall for it. You can see that there's already a problem there. A Jade Lion that is dead. That didn't happen. The Jade Lion commands were not considered for this battle, changing it completely actually. But overall, the same sort of actions happened. I used Jade Lions and Jet Lions to thwart the enemy missiles, just jumping them in, forcing them to skirmish, and doing whatever damage they could, even if the damage was just forcing them to not do damage. So overall, I'm pretty sure I didn't send missile units into melee, so yeah, that's also there. And Yuan Bo, I believe, came out after this assassin, which didn't happen here. So yeah, that's a little bit bugged out, but still reflecting a little bit of what happened in the battle. Just a massive pursuit of my single entity with my single entities, and dealing with Morathi back here with some halberds, which she doesn't manage to defeat. And that's likely the victory for us. Reminder that I didn't lose any units, and certainly not so much. Oh, seems like I would be using yet another unit if this was the actual turn of events. But yeah, actual victory was a close victory. No casualties, which is always nice. Now, Jun 2 has a better army. He's the one with Satan, the Everwatcher. And overall, what can we get to Yuan Bo now? I already have all his specifics. I'm thinking actually going into Netavamintok, then into his specific spells, actually. I can get Scarred Veteran or Woundmaker. I think Scarred Veteran is always nice. We should be pushing against Morathi. Yeah, if I attack here, I'm pretty certain I can decisive this one. Just get army replenishment. Even 1% is good. And I got the Burning Books of Corn. Yeah. So I don't have exactly the amount of armies to do this yet, but I think that should be fine. Iron Spike. Let me have the battle there. I think I can keep the Jet Lions safe and the Jade Lions safe. Yep, this will have to be auto-resolved or fight, because I'm gonna lose one unit. But yeah, I'll do it outside of your vision. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.